Joseph Stalin. The Foundations of Leninism. Marxism and the National and Cultural Question. Joseph Stalin. Anarchism or Socialism. Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin. Joseph Stalin. Economic Problems of Socialism in the USSR. I don't have a job, but I know all about the working class. My parents are cousins, but I'm still the master race. I might be doing just fine, but that man just breathed and I feel oppressed now. I never leave the man cave, but let me tell you about why capitalism is superior. Our Wall Street bets. Should I sell my children into slavery for capital today trade? I thought I would put this post here since the guys at our stocks and our investing are probably too scared to give actual advice. They will say, no, your family adds value to your life, but I know there are upsides to this. So here is my plan. I have books by Nietzsche, but titles are taken out of context. The Antichrist. My Sister and I, The Gay Science, Human All Too Human, a book for free spirits. ISIS and Al-Qaeda are right-wing authoritarian. Just want to thank PewDiePie for all the positive publicity we've been getting. If you haven't already, go check out his Minecraft playlist on YouTube. Yo Pewds, that will be $3.99 for the next mention of our company name, and $0.49 every time you share one of your blue yellow sheep. Censor all sexual scenes in video games, especially those that objectify women or promote sex work. Allow them on occasion if they present a revolutionary message from a gender-critical perspective. Censor all violence as well, because it disrupts the harmoniousness of society and teaches children to shred their fellow comrade instead of work together as equals. Well, except violence that promotes gory outcomes for the rich and or capitalists. That can stay. Censor all violence in video games because it rots kids' brains and turns them into heavy metal listening, demon worshipping murderers who reject the truth of Jesus. Censor all sexual scenes as well, especially gay ones that promote degeneracy. Unless the sexual scenes involve a bitch getting put in her place by alpha males, it is missionary style between a husband and his housewife, for the women are HAWT. Censor no sexual scenes in video games, unless they actively promote the overt degradation of women and the person doesn't consent. If it is consensual, it's fine. Censor no violence whatsoever in video games, except violence towards anyone with left-wing views or any POC woman LGBTQ+, which is actually cultural warfare, so it's fair game. Over here in the Librite quadrant we censor no one. No siree. You can have all the violence, LGBT sex scenes or alpha male rape scenes you want. That is, as long as the Mac publisher and the only avenue to which you can legally sell anything without getting sued for copyright deems your content advertiser friendly for all ages. And no random rich person thinks your game is in any way a violation of his NAP, in which case he can sue you for $999,999,999. How people see it. Stalin. Racist. Gay. Money. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. I will pay you $100 to fuck off. Where are the Nordic countries answered by each quadrant? Here. 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 Karl Marx's books. Communist Manifesto. Karl Marx on the Jewish Question. The Poverty of Philosophy. Value, Price and Profit. Who is the most overrated US president? Vladimir Lenin's books. State and Revolution. Imperialism. The Highest Stage of Capitalism. Lenin. On the Emancipation of Women. Left-wing Communism, an Infantile Disorder. What kind of feminist do you hate? Those who don't combine feminist struggle with class struggle. All of them. TERFs. Those who oppose pedophilia. Oh sorry. I meant hebophilia, of course. Today be like. The world is a mess. The The world is a mess. 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 Has an anime profile picture on Facebook and Twitter. What's your favorite restaurant? Government cheese line. My wife. Mac Hooters. Actually, I don't eat at restaurants. Their kitchens release heat into the atmosphere that contributes to climate change. I don't eat animals, either. They are living, sentient beings who deserve rights. I recently stopped eating plants too. They are beautiful, feeling, living creatures which deserve not to be butchered by the millions. I live on a 100% homegrown, non-GMO, gluten-free, farm-to-table, dairy-free, climate-friendly, vegan, ketogenic diet of sunlight. You know Garfield, sharing is one of life's great pleasures. Now, where can I find a kid? Would you like to sell your baby? I've recently had a miscarriage and I've been following you on Facebook. She's so beautiful, I've already given her a nickname and bought things for her. No particular affinity for Nordic countries. Obsessed with Nordic countries. No particular affinity for Nordic countries. Obsessed with Nordic countries. No particular affinity for Nordic countries. No particular affinity for Nordic countries. How each quadrant reacts to a police officer dying. All that for a drop of blood. Today I lost more than you could ever know, but this does put a smile on my face. Fine. I will do it myself. Beatles lyrics political compass. I'm back in the USSR. Get back to where you once belonged. With our love, we can save the world. Well, she was just 17. Ironically listens to Bono. Ironically listens to the Beatles. Ironically listens to Five Finger Death Punch. Ironically listens to the national anthem of the USSR. Drones with flamethrowers exist and can actually be bought by the public. Who is your favorite Russian? Birds of a feather flock together. Except for Tim. Tim is a rebel. Fuck society. Prostitution is exploitative. Prostitution is degenerate. Prostitution is misogynist. Prostitution is profitable. The police suck unless they wear red uniforms. The police are good but they should kill more minorities. Fuck the police. Let's replace them with lynch mobs, people's militias. Fuck the police. Let's replace them with private security. We plan to cut all homeless people in half by 2025. Me before going to work. Me after jerking off. Me before jerking off. Me after going to work. Private sign do not read. Librite vs Librite. Deregulations encourages competition. New store destroyed by Walmart's private militia. I do whatever I want, no matter how severely illegal it is. RoboCop is good because it depicts a person with no purpose other than serving the state. RoboCop is good because it depicts a world where police can use lethal force whenever they feel like it. RoboCop is good because it depicts a police officer being tortured and murdered. RoboCop is good because it depicts a world where private companies control the police. Political compass according to the political compass test. You're a teacher and you see a student getting beat up by the school bully. How do you respond? Send both of them to detention. Beat up the bully. Get the rest of the class to beat up the bully. Let them fight. May the best 4th grader win. Everything is revisionist propaganda except actual revisionist propaganda, which is fine. Everything is genocide except actual genocide, which is fine. Everything is theft except actual theft, which is fine. Everything is slavery except actual slavery, which is fine. You cannot make a revolution with white gloves. I'm not a dictator. It's just that I have a grumpy face. Competition is the law of the jungle. But cooperation is the law of civilization. Integrity is the ability to stand by an idea. I am inevitable. A small price to pay for salvation, perfectly balanced. As all things should be, reality can be whatever I want. I'm sorry, little one. Where each quadrant gets their nourishment, hunts and eats the rich into extinction, then starves to death, destroys, roasts, and devours libtards, washes the flavor down with some libtard tears, survives entirely on a diet of soy, weed, sexual fluids and human ass, replaced digestive system with a bioreactor to harness the power of hate for government, poor people, socialism and the age of consent. Why do you hate casinos? They make a profit and provide nothing to society. Gambling is sinful. I agree with auth left. They won't let me take my mobility scooter inside. When they point out the state has literally never withered away but only become stronger. When they point out a $700 billion defense budget, war on drugs and border wall and small government. When they point out there is no way to redistribute all property without force, making you a de facto state. When they point out that giving all power to private militaries will likely lead to corporate neo-feudalism. How to solve racism: send every racist person to the gulag. Kill every minority until only one race is left standing. Produce more interracial gay porn. Put it on the internet for free. Sell N-word passes for $5 a pop until it's acceptable for everyone to say it. Things you can own. Nothing. Slaves. A marijuana plant. The libs with facts and logic. Life is short. Write that novel. Paint that painting. Try that recipe. Hang out with friends. Form a militia. Create a compound. Acquire weapons. Rush Area 51. Regroup. Discuss a stateless society. Knit that sweater. Take that vacation. Why do you hate Belle Delphine? She makes profits off of bath water. She's a sex worker. She's a gamer. She reinforces the patriarchy. She's over 18. Never thought I'd die fighting tyrants side by side with a commie. What about side by side with a friend? L could do that. Most of these clients don't use their real names. I don't ask too many questions as long as they cough up the coin. So what are you in prison for? Not feeding my pet dog Ivan for 3 days. Shooting an illegal immigrant. Breaking a window. Tax fraud. I don't think the system works. I love democracy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Fear is a path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Mind tricks don't work on me, only money. Obviously North Korea is terrible. 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 Sure, if you eat up every piece of capitalist propaganda fed to you by the filthy Western media, then North Korea might seem like a bad place. But if you would just stop being such a brainwashed sheep for 5 minutes and actually do your research, you'd see that the truth is that so many of the country's alleged human rights violations and other tyrannical oppressive shenanigans are just overblown myths perpetuated by our evil capitalist overlords in order to make socialism look bad. In reality, North Korea is a great place to live in, much better than any Western country, and Kim Jong-un is actually a really great guy. How each quadrant reacts to a political compass meme. My quadrant is incorrect. It should be changed. 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 Responds to criticism of communist governments with over 5-paragraph response. Responds to accusations of racism with over 5-paragraph response. Responds to accusations of censorships with over 5-paragraph response. Responds to accusations of pedophilia with over 5-paragraph response. I am Marxist, says Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama says, Europe belongs to Europeans. Dalai Lama, homosexual sex is okay, free market economics and happiness. How was your date last night? Pretty good. But she forgot to sign page 67 of the consent form, so I think it was illegal. Pretty good. but she shot me in the clavicle when I went in for a kiss without proposing first. Pretty good, but she's doubled her fee. I was raped by my wife's boyfriend. Not sure the lifestyle is for me anymore. My wife and I have been involved in cuckolding for a few years now. It wasn't so much a fetish for me at first, but it was necessary for our marriage as I am unable to satisfy her needs completely and she loves me too much to leave me. Until now, things have been good. My wife has had dozens of lovers and a few long-term boyfriends. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement. My wife has her fun, and I have learned to enjoy watching her. I enjoy selecting them for her as I feel it helps me improve my own performance. Until now, I've been good friends with all my wife's boyfriends. I'm not bi and my wife has admitted it would be a turn off for her to watch me service other men, so that's never happened. Usually they'd just meet me in my lunch hour at work and I'd grab us all a coffee or what have you. A few months ago she met a man at a work function and by all accounts they hit it off. How each quadrant views each other through Spongebob. According to Kanye, one good girl is worth 1,000 bitches, and according to Lil Wayne, bitches come a dime a dozen. This means that one good girl is worth $8.33. The favorite sound of each quadrant. Katasha sound followed by USSR anthem, military march, broken window, banknote counter. I am now selling my bath water. This is what humanity has come to. Get yours here. Each quadrant's favorite use of the word fuck. Fuck you. Don't fuck. Fuck me. Fuck off. When you're a shitty test so people just use you for memes. Why each quadrant loves video games. You can blast USSR anthem in voice chat. Gamers are the prime target for KKK recruiters. You can break windows. Microtransactions. Oh please tread on me. Bant, hate speech. No step on snack. Step 1. Something. Step 2. Something. Step 3. Profit. Having big dreams but no realistic way to achieve them. Invading Poland. Having big dreams but no realistic way to achieve them. Invading Poland. Step 3. Profit. Invades Berlin to shoot the Nazis. Invades Normandy to shoot the Nazis. Throws a milkshake at the Nazis. Recreationally Mac nukes the Nazis. Land monopoly is not only monopoly, but it is by far the greatest of monopolies. It is a perpetual monopoly. And it is the mother of all other forms of monopoly. Winston Churchill. Under no pretext should arms and ammunition be surrendered. Any attempt to disarm the workers must be frustrated, by force if necessary. Karl Marx. It's extremely dangerous trying to resolve political problems outside the framework of the law. First the resolve revolution, then they will think up something like blue, Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump defends Planned Parenthood at GOP debate. Taxation in North Korea, officially. There are no taxes in North Korea. Taylor Swift losing weight. Is she starving herself? Can't shake it off. How Taylor Swift became an artsy idol. Taylor Swift sends love and respect to LGBT fans. Taylor Swift is a greedy capitalist scammer who wants all of your money. Make Russia Soviet again. Make America great again. America is already great. America was never great. National Hat Day. 50% off all hats. Pepsi Navy. The USSR offered to pay Pepsi with a fleet of diesel ships. Those 17 submarines made Pepsi become, for a few days, the 6th largest military power in the world by number of diesel submarines. The president of Pepsi, Donald Kendall, told the National Security Advisor of USA, "We are disarming the USSR faster than you." How to fix the school system. Students should experience various types of jobs in their studies. This way a teenager is well equipped to make a decision that impacts the rest of their life. Classes should be separated by skill not age. This will ensure the slower students can learn at their own pace and that faster students don't get slowed down. Students should have more power over what they learn. Being forced to do things they don't want to do, sit in lines and listen to orders severely limits how willing and able someone is to adapt to the modern world. Schools should teach skills useful to today's world. Being able to be a part of a team, run a business, solve problems and innovate. This allows students to be able to be independent by the time they leave school.